Hi, everyone. We're just going to give maybe 1 more minute for those summer stragglers that are enjoying the evening instead of sitting in front of their computer. Can't blame them. But thank you so much for joining us. You could be in your backyard or on your porch, on your phones. So we're going to get started. My name is Christy. I'm one of the owners at Helping Hands. My partner Jessica is the other amazing doula on our admin team. We have Drew with us today, who most of you have probably had some communication with, and then we have some doulas joining us too. So this month is summer. So we thought that we would have some summer topics that could hopefully help you guys throughout the summer months. So our agenda for today is we are going to talk about swelling. That is one of the unfortunate side effects of the heat. So we're going to talk about some swelling tips, staying hydrated, which is really important on these crazy warm days, but just in general. So we have some information on that. Then we have some water safety. So, you know, we're out and we're around water more. So how can we keep our little ones safe? And we also have introducing baby to water. So this is the bathtub and then eventually swimming. So we're going to be talking about that as well. We'll have a question and answer period at the end. So throughout the presentation, if you have questions, please pop them in the chat and we will go through those during our question and answer period. And then we have our breakout rooms. So for those of you joining us today, if you are interested in going through the kind of doula speed dating that we do at our Meet the Team, please put your name and that you're interested in the chat. And then what happens is we stop recording, you'll go into breakout rooms depending on how much time we have. It's somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes with team members. The fun part is then I get to kick them out of the room and they don't even know. So they just all of a sudden get put into another room, which is kind of fun. But this is a great way for you to get to know the team a little bit better and ask any questions that you might have. So please let me know in the chat if you are interested in that portion. So I have the pleasure of introducing our first team member who's going to speak today. Ainsley McKay is a postpartum doula on our team. She loves ice cream all year round, which I think is a pretty awesome thing. And also loves the summer heat. I love the heat as well, but I also am glad I have air conditioning. And she believed she could, so she did, which is Proverbs. And I love that quote. First thing I want to ask you, Ainsley, before you start is, what is your favorite type of ice cream?
I don't think that I could pick just one, but in particular, I would probably say that I'm more of like a chocolate girl or mint chocolate chip, something like that.
All right, awesome. I like it. All right, well, take it away and tell us about swelling.
Okay, so swelling is something that happens to a lot of women during pregnancy and even postpartum. Summer is here, so obviously the heat kind of helps elevate the swelling levels in our body. The fluid buildup, so it's really important that we stay hydrated. Excuse me, sorry. It's important that we stay hydrated. It's important that we pay attention to our body and what we're needing on a regular basis. Pay attention to your feet. Pay attention with, your hands. You'll notice in your hands they'll swell. With the heat comes an increase in the swelling in your hands and feet. This is common in pregnancy, especially during the summer months, and it can be very uncomfortable and difficult to manage. We're going to talk about a few ways that we manage swelling. A few tips: elevate your feet. You can elevate your feet by laying on your couch at the end of the day, or if you see throughout the day that your swelling has increased, maybe you're at home still because we're still working from home, a lot of us. So you can put your feet up. Just make sure that it's above your heart. So stack pillows and cushions, or even if you go to your bed, put your feet up on your headboard or your wall. Just make sure it's elevated to get the blood flow away from your feet. Contrast the hot, cold foot baths. So you're going to want to take 2 either bowls or basins, and you're going to have one with ice water and you'll have one with warm water. You're going to put your feet in them for about 1 minute to 2 minutes for about 30, in different intervals. You're going to do this for 1 to 2 minutes for 30 seconds each. And then you'll do this 2 or 3 times. The warm water relaxes the blood vessels in your feet and in your legs, and while the cold water, it will constrict the blood vessels. So it kind of creates like a pumping action that helps return fluids to your heart. A massage. Take this opportunity and get a massage. Either your partner or get a registered massage therapist appointment pronto. I believe we have one that you can connect with Helping Hands admin team, and they could probably get you an appointment or figure something out for you. Drink so much water. Drink water, drink water, drink water. And drink flavored water. As much as water is super important, the regular water, it's also important to consume special fruits and vegetables and foods that are water, what's the word I'm looking for? They're full of water, like cucumbers, strawberries. Drink skim milk. Broths are really good and help you. There's tons of food that help you hydrate. Decrease your carbs. Put the donuts and cakes down, and let's head towards some higher protein foods. We have seeds and different nuts. Chicken, if you're a chickatarian. Beans, lots of amazing foods out there. Compression socks are very, very, very helpful if you're dealing with a lot of swelling in your feet. And trust me, you'll be like, am I swelling? You know you're swelling. You'll see your feet turn into little piggies, and they're so cute, but they're super squishy. That's swelling. Now we're going to watch a video that'll kind of give you a better understanding.
There's no sound. Just kidding. We're not going to show you a video. We're going to tease you with a video. No, we're just going to reshare with sound. Feet up, but you need to put up your feet higher than your heart in order to get the benefits of the drainage. This is a great position that you can do to help with that. Lying on your back with your feet up against the wall, sliding as close to the wall as you can, getting nice and comfortable, and staying in this position for about 15 to 30 minutes. You could also do this position lying in bed, putting your feet up against your headboard. The benefits of doing this position are to help with drainage, reduce swelling, and also help you get more sleep. Doing this before bed is a great idea every night. Contrast hot and cold foot baths can be really beneficial in reducing swelling. You will want to have 2 basins, one with warm water and one with really, really cold water. To make sure it's cold enough, you can add some ice cubes. You're going to start with putting your feet in the warm water. This is going to vasodilate your blood vessels, which basically just means it will increase the circulation to your feet. You will keep your feet in the nice warm water for about 2 minutes. Then you take your feet out of the warm water and place them into the cold water, keeping your feet in the cold water for about 15 to 30 seconds, then putting them into the warm water for 2 minutes. You will want to repeat this process 2 or 3 times. The cold water will constrict the blood vessels, helping to reduce the swelling and get circulation pumping back to the heart. Unfortunately, you will want to finish with the cold water because that will really help keep the circulation and the swelling down. For more information on our birth and postpartum doula services, take a look at our website at Helping Hands. I'm pretty sure I was laughing at Jessica's face when she stuck her feet in the cold water during that demonstration. I could hear it in my voice a little bit. Thank you so much, Ainsley, for that. And it's funny how often people will say, "Oh, I put my feet up," but they're putting their feet up on an ottoman or something like that, which it's not going to help with the swelling. We really have to get the feet up past the heart. So unless you're lying on the couch with your feet up on the edge of the couch, you're probably going to need to get down onto the ground, or in bed, put your feet up against your headboard. That can be helpful too. So thank you, Ainsley. And now we have Amanda Kennedy, who is another postpartum doula on our team. Amanda is a girl mom having 3 daughters. And she is a huge animal lover, which we're assuming because she has a puppy, 2 cats, an albino leopard gecko, a tarantula, and right now they are fostering chickens. So I'm not sure if maybe you moved onto a farm, but that's a lot of animals. And life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. And I love that. So Amanda, take it away and tell us how to stay hydrated.
Thanks, Christy. And to clarify, I'm not the animal lover, it's my children. I just oblige. Okay, so staying hydrated. It is summer and the last few days have been very hot. So you're probably all aware of how important it is to stay hydrated. And during pregnancy, that's even more important. Some of the benefits of staying hydrated, there are many. It can decrease constipation and hemorrhoids, reduces swelling, as Ainsley covered. It increases your energy, which is very valuable. Keeps you cool and decreases your risk of urinary tract infections, which will hopefully decrease your risk of preterm or pre-birth labor. And it delivers important nutrients to you and your baby. So, what are some signs of dehydration? Ainsley covered the swelling piece, what you're looking for, but in terms of not taking in enough hydrating liquids or foods is overheating more than you may already be feeling, depending on where you're at in your pregnancy. Headaches and sluggishness, just not feeling on top of your game. Maybe you're feeling really like you want to go to bed or just a pounding headache. And really important one, dark or concentrated urine. So you want to make sure when you're going to the bathroom that it's clear and it's not smelling funky, that it's just normal. Paying attention to those, and you should be nice and hydrated. If you become dehydrated, it can result in some mild complications, but they also could be serious. Some of them include low amniotic fluid, kidney stones, swelling, again, not fun, urinary tract infections, which are important to note because they can lead to preterm labor or preterm birth. Now, if If you want to stay hydrated, how much should you be drinking? Well, we all say 8 to 12 glasses a day. So it's 1 to 3 liters, depending on the circumstance. So if it's hotter out, keep drinking more water. So some other tips for staying hydrated. Make it fun, try. You can add fruit and veggies to add some flavor. We're going to talk about some recipes that you can use in the next few slides. You can drink decaffeinated teas, not caffeinated, because they will actually dehydrate you more. Eat hydrating foods. So Ainsley mentioned a few. There's also watermelon, cucumber, strawberries, oranges, lettuce. It's a really cool recipe I learned with grapes today. You can drink smoothies. They're a fun way to get all of those nutrients in. You can add some bubbles, so some sparkling water or a carbonated water, not pops or sodas, but things like just a soda water. You can add it, make it more fizzy. And you can make some really cool healthy popsicles. If you look online, you can find a ton of really neat recipes with some frozen or fresh fruit and vegetables that you can add to it, and it just more interesting way to enjoy your hydration. So some recipes. First one we have is an iced raspberry leaf tea. You can make it with any decaffeinated tea, but this one is with raspberry tea, but it is only recommended in the 3rd trimester. So I'll wait till the whole recipe is up. It'd be easy. Okay, so you're gonna need 4 bags of leaf tea bags. So for this one, the raspberry leaf tea, 4 cups of boiling water and honey if you want it sweetened. So basically you boil your water, pour it into a large jug with the tea bags, and then you're gonna steep it for about 15 to 20 minutes. Remove the bags, add some honey if you want to sweeten it, and then you're gonna keep it in the fridge to cool until it's a temperature you like to drink it at. Next, we have some flavor infused waters. So basically this is water with just fruits or vegetables sliced up and added to it. These 3 are some really nice combinations. So basically, again, you're taking 2 to 3 liters of water in a large jug. The first one, half a cucumber sliced up, 8 strawberries halved, and then an herb that you can add is basil to that one and really boost the flavor in it. To make a citrus water, same idea, 2 to 3 liters of water, and then you can add a sliced lemon, lime, and grapefruit to the water, or just one of them if you'd like. And then another recipe, orange mint water, is an orange sliced and then a couple sprigs of mint, and mint really makes water pop. And mint also just makes you feel more alert, so that's a nice one if you're feeling sluggish. Place it in the fridge, keep it for 2 to 3 hours, and then it's ready to drink. And now this green smoothie, it's the ultimate of smoothies. It has many nutrients, as many nutrients as a smoothie probably could have. It also includes iron and potassium, which are really important for your baby. It's growing at a rapid rate and you need the iron especially to strengthen its bones and aid in blood production and circulation. This is great during pregnancy, but also postpartum when you're breastfeeding and need extra nutrients. So what you're gonna put in this one is a banana, 1.5 cups of frozen berries, a generous serving of organic greens, so basically a large handful, 2 tablespoons of organic virgin coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of organic flax or hemp seeds, or even one of each, 6 to 8 ounces of unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And then if you're in your first trimester, or if you're lucky enough to have morning sickness clear throughout, you might want to add some ginger to it to add a little pizzazz and also help keep your tummy settled. Put in the blender, blend it for a minute, and enjoy.
Thank you, Amanda. That was great. And I actually asked Drew behind the scenes if she would put together a little graphic with those recipes to send out, because I think that would be really fun to have and just spruce things up. So thank you for that. And hopefully we have a little bit more fun with our drinks. So now I would like to introduce my partner in crime, Jessica. She loves supporting others through times of transition and working through fear, which kind of makes her the best doula because of that. She's a part-time mermaid, which is probably why we chose her to talk about water safety because of that. Sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple. Dr. Seuss. Well, Jessica, take it away and tell us about water safety.
Thank you, Christy, my partner in crime, as you said. I like that. So as I was putting together this presentation, I was trying to figure out what can I tell people about water safety. And it was hard to put it all in one place because I never do this online. I'm always in the pool with people or the lake or helping them with their first bath. Never necessarily done this virtually. So this is kind of new for me. Now, a little background. I have been a swim instructor since I was very young. So this is 23 years going strong. I cannot even tell you that probably thousands of kids I've taught how to swim. And my favorite part of teaching is helping to see people reduce fear in the water. And fear is very common in the water. So don't fret if you're worried about holding your slippery baby. Most parents are really freaked out about this, but I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to be able to get that support to make this really fun. So that's the first thing. I love the water. I'm a part mermaid. I would spend all day, every day in the pool if I could, the ocean, the lake, the bathtub myself. And I really want that to be a place of bonding for you to have with your babies. This is something you can start with right away. And anyone that's due soon, the summer months are the best time to enjoy the water in Canada. So how do we set the foundation of fun? Well, when it comes to introducing your baby to water for the first time, the most common place is going to be baby's first bath. So how to do that? It's really important to set yourself up for success. Get all of your baby gear, get all the stuff that you want for bath time, get your towels, get everything out and ready to go so that everything is right there and you don't have to worry about things as you go. You're going to set yourself up for success so that you can have a lot of fun with it too. Will help to reduce the stress in your own self, and you know that babies pick up on that. So we just want to have fun. That's the big thing. Also with fun, we want to reduce tears. And I know most of the doulas on this call would agree. It's typical that there are tears the first bath, the first couple of baths. This is new for babies. They like to be warm. So what we want to do is try to start at the best possible time to introduce to water. So that's typically with babies, I find, in the day, in the morning, not so much in the evening, like we would anticipate an older child having bath time. Also really important to make sure that your baby has eaten at least 20 minutes before going into the bathtub. We typically see this as being that calm before the storm, always for babies. A full tummy means a happy kiddo. And we want them to be warm. So there's lots of tricks with our newborn care class that we do speak about this, about how to really increase this timing, but I'll give you a couple of freebies along the way today. We want to make sure that we're doing a routine anytime we're introducing our children to the water. So this goes for bath time. It also goes for swim time. So some things that you can be doing is just to put together some expectations or routine. So it could be that, when you're introducing your baby to the water in bath time, you're always washing them from head to toe. Maybe that's what your routine is. And it helps to build that expectation for your baby that they know exactly once their hair is washed and rinsed, then they're going to move on to their chest, then their arms, then their legs, then their back, and then they get to go out. So we start to see less tears as they build up. Not a crystal ball, but they know exactly what's going to happen next. And we thrive on that with routines. When it comes to introducing your baby to the water outside of the bathtub, it's important to do the same thing. So you can have routines in terms of how you enter the pool, how you exit the pool, the different games that you might be doing. But when it comes to helping babies to learn how to swim on their own, we typically start doing this around 3 months in the water world. And it's really important that we always hold either a cue or a song for babies so that they know exactly what to be doing. And we want them to learn how to hold their breath control, and to make sure that they're not taking water in. That's really important. And we do that with even older children and adults too. Very important as I talk about submersion into the water, that we protect the airway. And this also happens at bath time. So for babies that are born right away, they do not have head control. So they will bob with their little heads and they need to have a lot of dependent support. So when you're introducing your baby to the bath, it's always important that we're holding the nape of the neck and that we're also supporting their bum. That's very important. So when it comes to swimming lessons, let's say going into the pool, most swim schools will not allow a baby under 3 months to have lessons. And the reason for this is they don't have control of their heads yet. So if you are really eager to get your children underwater, try to focus first on bath time. That's the focus. And I can teach you a couple of holds towards the end of today's session around how to hold a baby that's a little bit older. We want to keep water time short and sweet and work up to longer increments. So the reason for this is all humans, we lose heat 25 times faster in water than we do on land. And a lot of people don't realize this. So we're going to get colder faster in colder water, of course, but even water that's body temperature, we are losing heat. So that's really important to keep in mind. Babies, especially when they're very new, are going to prefer water that's much closer to their body temperature. So like 98.6 degrees is what a typical newborn's body temperature would be. We want the bath to be somewhat close to that. What we typically see for our families that are introducing the first time of the bath, the water is almost always too cold, and that's why babies hate it so much. They're used to swimming around in the birth parent in amniotic fluid, which is warm. We want to recreate that as much as possible. When that means that they're going into the pool or into the lake, they want it to be a little bit warmer too. So thinking of a warmer pool that would be at least over 85 degrees Fahrenheit, closer to 92 is kind of the sweet spot. So keep that in mind. If you're going to go to a friend's pool for the first time or wherever, ask them, what temperature do you keep your pool at? Your baby might not love it if it's a 75-degree pool, and I highly would not recommend that for any child that's under about 4 or 5. In terms of helping to keep babies warm with baths, you can help to reduce tears in this way too. So babies love being warm. The warmest place is skin to skin. So you can actually do a shared bath together. It doesn't have to be in a baby gadget that's a bath. It could be, one of the parents, skin to skin. They're put in first. Other parent can bring baby to them and be able to just sit right on the chest, and you can do bath that way. That's a really nice getting your feet wet approach to bath time, which I really love. A second thing you can think about is doing a swaddle bath, which essentially means swaddling your baby first, cleaning their hair, putting a hat on, and then putting baby entire swaddle into the bath while still supporting them and slowly opening it to the different parts of their body. This will help to keep them warm because, again, they lose heat 25 times faster in water. It's going to conceal a lot more of that heat. And less tears, which means less tears for parents too, which is always nice. Another little trick is you can put baby into a submerged bath and then get a face cloth, warm face cloth with water, put it on their belly, and that way they're staying warm throughout that. And then my last little freebie trick, keep the room warm. So wherever you're doing the bath, whether it's in the bathroom, on the dining room table, in the kitchen, warm the space first. Have a shower beforehand. If you're doing it in the kitchen on top of the island, cook something in the oven first, then work on to bath time. So keep in mind, if you ever go to a pool, and I'm sure all of you have, it's always super humid in there. That's part of the point. We want to make sure that that air is warm so that all of us stay warm too. So in terms of some other safety stuff to keep in mind, this one's really important, and we do know in terms of drowning within Canada, this is the #1 reasons why we have drownings. So you always want to stay within arm's reach of your children, even when they're older and can swim independently. You want to make sure you're always within an arm's reach. And then for bath time, We always want to make sure that we're never not in the same room, even if our phone rings or we have someone at the door. Take your child out of the tub, place them onto your chest, cover them with a towel, and do what you need to do, and then go back. Even an inch of water is too much water to leave baby alone. So, introducing your baby to water. So I'm actually going to, well, let's watch this little video, have a quick break, and then we'll talk about what that is.
During early bath time interactions, parents should focus on becoming relaxed handling their baby. The easiest way to handle your baby is sharing a bath together. Practice moving your baby by rolling and spinning. When you do this, make sure you leave your baby low in the water and support them very gently. This will allow them to relax and feel that magic floating sensation as the water envelops their little bodies. Parents can also lay the baby on their outstretched hands. Here, with gentle support, the baby floats and exercises. All the time, the parents make eye contact and reassure their baby that all is well. As baby grows, they will really enjoy floating and exercising in the bath. Parents should encourage this exercise by sinking them low and supporting them softly, as floating is the basis of all learn to swim. Don't neglect conditioning, as conditioning is an integral part of teaching baby to hold their breath on command. Aim for 4 to 5 conditioning pours each bath time, provided they are happy.
Evie, ready, go. Full cup. Good girl. She'll stiffen a little and that's natural. Good job. Congratulate her. Make sure all the waters run away before you lay them down. Good girl.
Break up this conditioning with floating and exercising activities. If you persist with conditioning, you will prepare your baby for future submersions in a loving, caring and trauma-free environment.
All right. So I'm sure some of you are watching that as the parent was pouring water over top of their face and was like, I am never going to be able to do that. I hear ya. So keep in mind that something that we don't talk about a lot when protecting the airway is we want to make sure that their head is always upright. So when you are pouring water over their face, I'm sure you will see some of these gadgets online that are like little visors to make sure water stays out of their face. It's more for the soap products that would be coming into their face that we're concerned about. Water, when it's poured over top with a baby that's sitting upright, is not going inside the airway, it's going over top. So what that means in terms of getting your child ready to be in the water and in the environment is that they organically learn how to hold their breath. The amount of babies that I've seen be able to swim independently under a year old is pretty phenomenal, but a lot of that has to do with conditioning and making sure that we're using cues. So always saying things like ready, set, go, and working up over time. So if you've ever seen those videos of babies swimming or being dropped into a pool and then rolling onto their back, that doesn't happen after one class. That's about 15 minutes of conditioning for typically about a few weeks to a month before those things start to happen. So keep in mind with all of this, for anyone that's interested in getting their kids swimming, make sure that you have a certified water instructor help you with this, so to teach you in person, because just watching me with the video is not enough for you to be able to do this by yourself. So take a class, see a professional, that's the way to go. I also don't want to take too much time from today's presentation, but we do have a lot of great videos on our YouTube channel, one of them being Christy, you can see her. She's doing a full newborn bath. So to be able to talk about and watch what we've talked about can be really, really helpful. So one other thing before we wrap up is holds. So these are some things you can do with your baby right away. So in that little bathtub video, you saw that baby was lying on their back. We like to affectionately call this a starfish or a back float. How they're holding their baby is always supporting the neck underneath both shoulder blades and letting the ears come under the water. That's really important. It can be quite uncomfortable if one's in and one's out. So just make sure that baby is, really floating appropriately. For this picture that we're seeing here, this is a first submersion. You're not going to do this without a water safety instructor with you. That's incredibly important. But essentially, conditioning with pouring water over their face first would be the first step. And that's a picture of a parent and a baby going underwater together, which is really cool. And the last little tip I have for you, anytime you're in the water with your baby, practice the end of the bath together. So always have some sort of cue that they're going to the side of the pool, or a cue that bath time is over. Whatever that may be, just driving home those expectations and how important they are. Okay, let's move on.
That was a lot of great information and stuff even I learned, which is fun. We have time for some questions, and we'll give some answers. So if you have any questions about swelling or staying hydrated or water safety, you can unmute and just ask your question, or you can message in the chat box. You also know how to contact us if there's any questions that you would like to ask us later on as well. So if nobody has any questions, we are going to break out into the breakout rooms. So those of you who would like to meet some of our doulas, please feel free to let me know in the chat. I had 2 people respond already. So if there's anyone else who would like to go into the breakout rooms, please let me know. And I will go ahead and open up those breakout rooms, and you will have a doula join you momentarily. Okay, so Allison is going to